let's start with that. And I'm trying to think if you guys, okay, there are some people who ask some questions and they want more details. If you want more details, you have to join my community and I can give you more details. But if you are here live and you have questions, feel free to ask them and I will answer them. Okay. So right now, let's get into the current event. Okay, so here we are. Let me see. Okay. Do we like it like that? Okay, this might be better. Okay. So we are going to talk about the title of this is Meet Tesla's Optimus Robot, Humanoid Friend. We can do anything. Elon Musk apparently had I don't know if it was a show or whatever, and he had these robots, which I've already seen. I've seen them at the store. I don't know if any of you guys been to the Tesla store, but he had those, and he has the robots serving drinks. A little scary. It looks like a human.
See that? Yes.
That is so freaky.
You want to get a photo? Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. Little video. Hey.
Is there a human in here? Okay. He can serve, he can dance, he can take selfies, he can talk, he can do anything you want. That is Tesla Optimus Robot, who can be humanoid, who could be your humanoid friend. Several humanoid Optimus robots were seen walking the ramp and serving drinks to attendees at Tesla We Robot event held in California. I need to look up Tesla's natal chart. I looked up Elon's natal chart for this. Anyway, what else do we have? Here's another video.
A robot with arms and legs instead of a robot with wheels.
Okay.
And
we've music, made a lot of progress. That is really annoying, but let me play it without
Optimus.
The sound. Anyway, but if you can see the robot, it is. I think it's scary. So, but was that the robot serving drinks here? I don't know. It looks like it's moving kind of stiff. But, I don't know. Anyway, proving his claims, Musk brought along a bunch of Optimus robots to the party and requested people to be nice to them. You will be able to walk right up to them and they will serve you drinks at the bar. It's a wild experience just to have a humanoid robot. This is iRobot, the movie in real life. Okay. Optimus will cost $20,000 to $30,000 in the long term, Musk said. Now, this is to me affordable. Okay. You're talking about the price of a car. And I'm pretty sure people will be leasing these cars. These robots. He's waving. It is so, man, robot, didn't it feel like you were in some time travel trip to be there? Okay. All right. So that is what we have for Elon. Okay. And yeah, I think that is yeah. Okay. So that's what we have for Elon. So let's bring the chart into this. Okay. And when we have the chart, let me pull up Mr. Elon's chart. Okay. And I did not look up Tesla, which I'm going to have to look up a Tesla chart for us, but I didn't do Tesla. That would probably be more fitting because this was a Tesla event, but I did bring up Elon. Okay. So let me see what I have in my notes, which I was very interested. I can't believe, first of all, let me just break down his chart. First of all, I was really shocked about Elon's chart. I did not know he had a Cancer stallion. A lot of issues with sensitivity here because he is a male, and I think that the males hold the sun sign a little stronger. Very interesting there. I didn't even look at his moon. Of course, he has a moon in Virgo that is hardworking. Okay, so, but I was more interested in his Mars. And if you see his Mars is over here in the 8th house, Mars, I immediately was looking for its Aquarius energy because all of this represents Aquarius. Aquarius is all about technology and the future and robots and thinking outside of the box. But because he has a Mars in Aquarius in that 8th house, the Mars in Aquarius alone, it's about passion for technology and innovation and future orientated kind of drive to do things about the future, about robots. Also too, like, committed to the collective, to progress and to move forward. And there's also an intellectual curiosity and unconventional ideas when you have a Mars in Aquarius. And Aquarius is about ideas and communication, hence him owning X. He was meant to own X because that is a social media app, and that is an Aquarius theme, just so you know. Yeah, but they're all about collaborative vision. Oh, what is not plugged here? Okay. Collaborative vision and technical or technology advancement, technical advancement. Very independent and unconventional approach to things, okay? But also about the collective, about humanitarian causes. I don't know if he's much of a humanitarian, but just about the people. And also, when you have Mars in Aquarius, you're very detached. At the same time, you're very determined. Mars in Aquarius is very fixed energy, and the emotions are not really there. I'm not really sure how Elon does things, but I'm pretty sure when he does them, there's not emotion. It's all about logic, okay? But very eccentric. And I do think his kids do have a very eccentric names. Very unpredictable energy, very intellectual energy, very wants to collaborate with others and have a group. Now, if you see, his Mars is conjunct his North Node here. And when it's conjunct his North Node, then you're talking about someone who is supposed to do this in his lifetime, this Aquarius energy, everything that I just discussed earlier. He's supposed to achieve and drive to do it. Okay. So just very natural leader in innovation and change. And he's going to be very relentless because these two things are hugging. And when two celestial beings are hugging together, not only are they good and bad, okay, but they're also very strong energy. So he has a relentless pursuit for his futuristic goals and the future for the collective, and embracing change and having innovation in everything. And it's aligning to his personal willpower, okay? His personal greater mission in life now is to achieve these things that are very futuristic, very out of the box, very future. I said future, very just for the collective. All of the things that he's doing, he's meant here to do. It's crazy. He is not confused at all when it comes to, well, I won't say confused. I didn't even look at his Mercury. But the drive that he has is very on point. And it is conjunct his North Node. So you see that everything he's pursuing is meant to be. That's great to have in a chart, by the way. And but it could be impulsive and there could be risk taking when you have this. And the structure of things, he really doesn't believe in the structure of things, and he may alienate himself from others, you know, because it's very detached and aloof kind of energy when he's trying to pursue things. And it could be very eccentric, maybe too eccentric or maybe too unpredictable. And there could be struggles with like delegation to a team dynamic because he's an individual but he wants the team at the same time. Yeah, anyway, also someone who is not really going to compromise when he's trying to achieve things is a very thing. What about anyway, yeah. But yeah, that is what you have. And he could probably burn out a lot. Anyway, but that is in the eighth house. And I'm going to quickly say what the eighth house energy is because I own a Tesla. Okay. And I am going to give up my Tesla soon. A personal, okay, just me personally, when Pluto enters Aquarius, I there's great things about that, and I'll talk about that in a minute, because that's why I want to talk about this story real quick. But him having this in the eighth house. Eighth house represents transformation. It represents power. It represents finances. It represents obsession. It represents control. It also represents mysteries. Okay. So, like intense interest in hidden knowledge or hidden information or hidden, because it's Aquarius, hidden communication or hidden things that are about the future, power dynamics and control. This is all what he has in that eighth house. Okay. So desire for deep transformation could be happening. At the same time, there could be intense emotions, not emotions, intense drive to control and have power. Okay. Yeah, but there's some secrets and there's things that are very taboo. Ooh, I just wonder that sex drive too, because it represents a sex drive that could be a little different. also, and there could be some taboo things with it, with that as well, but strong attraction to the future and a collective and doing it also at the same time. There's transformative energy, power, control, and money added to this, and things that are very taboo. Okay, so one great thing, let me just say, is that his Mars in Aquarius and at North Node is also trining Venus. So him doing all this and getting a drive, he's going to get a lot of support, and also naturally attract things. People are naturally attracted to the fact that he's driven with this Aquarius energy and pursuing the things he's supposed to achieve in his lifetime. Now, this is also in the 12th house of secrets. Okay, I am very aware of that. Okay, also let me see, what else do I have? Let me see if I have anything else. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, also too, he has an MC in Aries, so he's supposed to do this. It's very leader energy, very first to do a lot of things. Yeah. Anyway, but I want to talk about some futuristic stuff. When I was looking at that article, I said, let me move this and let me explain. Let's go years. Okay. When Pluto enters Aquarius, this energy, all of this gets even bigger. Also, Pluto entering Aquarius, and I did a video on this, but Pluto entering the sign Aquarius is a lot of control over social media, a lot of control over communication, a lot of control over the airplanes. Okay. Pluto also is here to investigate and bring the mysteries of things. So anything that's dark and very taboo, dealing with Elon Musk, that's going to come to the light too. If there's any darkness, I just want you to know that. Pluto also is very controlling and power obsessed. Okay, and obsessed with power. Also, there's money involved with Pluto too, like controlling the money. So when you have this and it starts to get closer to this energy, which is about for him, I would say 2027, 2028. Okay, and this is the reason why I said, I'm gonna get rid of my car. Okay, there is a transformation in technology. It will be advancing more than ever when Pluto is in the sign Aquarius. Okay, so there is advancement, there is power in technology. All that will be happening. There will be major transformation in Aquarius themes, anything dealing with this, the air, communication, social media, and technology in the future. All that is going to be amazing and exciting. At the same time, the power dynamic, I'm not into that. Okay. So, but there could be some power through technology. Like we could be receiving some power as a collective, but also there could be power and control on the other side. Okay. Unconventional approaches to having power and control could be happening. Yeah. So, with that said, and also too, there could be obsession for him and extremes happening for him. Okay. Non-traditional power dynamics. You're talking about, you have your traditional hierarchies, and that's talking about like the president or whoever, the Illuminati or whatever, who's in charge. But when you're talking about Elon Musk and you're talking about Pluto and Aquarius entering that eighth house on top of his planets, and you're talking about what is this going to look like for us in a collective, he could be someone who's in charge. I'm just saying, this power obsession could be happening for him, and he could be driven to have power through innovation and technology. And what would it look like if everyone drove a Tesla, or if he owned all the electric plug-in cars, kind of things? I don't know what it would look like because I can't imagine, but I'm just saying there is something like that, or maybe a desire to transform social influences, and just very obsessive when it comes to the pursuit of change and a pursuit of the future and having control over the future. We'll see how that works, and if it's for the collective, because he does, there is humanitarian energy, or if he will be too obsessed with the power of having control. Okay. Hidden or under the radar kind of influence is definitely having that energy too. And there's a, just, you could be fighting for a cause, because Aquarius is all about fight for the people and rebelling. That's also very Aquarius. At the same time, I'm seeing it very for Elon, control. Okay, control, control, control. That's just what I see, especially when you have that Mars and Pluto, just a lot of power dynamics. And because he is the owner of Tesla, and I'm going to have to look at Tesla, I'm releasing a car. Okay, just so you know. But I'm just telling you what the future is going to look like. Elon is going to get more powerful with all this. If he already has this, just this part alone is making all of these things happening. The iRobot, the van that's supposed to happen, all that stuff. If that is happening, imagine when Pluto enters Aquarius. And then look, in 2 more years, then you have the North Node also entering Aquarius for the collective. So the future and the power for the future is going to get more intense, and we're supposed to have power through technology as a collective. And it's just, we'll see. Okay, stay tuned for that. Now, on another note, I want to maybe I should pull a card on that. Okay, so let's pull a card on Elon Musk and see. You know what, I'm going to just pull an oracle. Let's pull an oracle card and see what we have about Elon Musk and the future. And we have Adam, dark divine, father of creation. Right, Adam was like the first of the first. Isn't that interesting? The first of the first. So there'll be a lot of beginnings with him. Also, but Adam betrayed, right? He betrayed God. If you know anything about Adam and Eve, there was betrayal, but there was this father of creation. Here is this energy. So he's going to create, and which is a great thing. At the same time, being the first and doing things new, maybe not knowing the rules of something, could cause some sinful energy. Okay, which you do have in the eighth house. So that is what we have for Elon. Now let me share my screen again, and let's see what the next story is. I have to remember the things that I'm doing. What story? I have to. Oh, here we go. This is the next one here, okay? And let's see how this is going to play out. Let me actually, if you guys don't know, Obama gave a speech, okay?
America's first Black president had some frank discussions with young Black voters who could play a crucial role in this year's election, asking Black men to accept the entry of women, particularly women of color, in corridors of power. Barack Obama's words managed to touch a raw nerve.
I'm going to speed
Though
it up.
most Black men agreed to President Obama's sentiments, some made some rather strong objections. Our next report brings you more.
Former U.S. President Barack Obama has found himself on the wrong side of American voters, particularly Black men. Last week, the 44th President of America gave a blistering performance in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Speaking in the swing state, Obama called on men and Black men to vote for Kamala Harris.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I've noticed this especially with some men who seem to think Trump's behavior, the bullying and the putting people down, is a sign of strength. And I am here to tell you that is not what real strength is. Real strength is about working hard and carrying a heavy load without complaining. Real strength is about taking responsibility for your actions and telling the truth even when it's inconvenient. Real strength is about helping people who need it and standing up for those who can't always stand up for themselves. That is what we should want.
That wasn't it. As Barack Obama continued to open a bigger can of worms after addressing the crowds from the podium, he spoke to a group of Black men separately.
How are you?
He urged them to embrace women in power and pick Kamala Harris as the next president.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that.
You got a problem.
Because part of it makes me think, I'm speaking to men directly.
Men directly.
Part of it
Black
makes me
men.
think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for it.
But the lecturing didn't stop there.
Oh,
As Barack
lecturing.
Obama put on a stern fatherly act, he asked Black
Fatherly
men to
act.
learn from Black women, whom the former president claims are against Donald Trump.
Anyway, he kept going and kept going, just so you know. And I want to bring that to the chart. So let's break down why this speech that Obama gave wasn't the best for some people. Okay, in particular, we'll say Black men were offended. And of course, when I say this, I'm not speaking for all Black men. Okay, I am just speaking for the ones who were offended. Okay. Now, first of all, Mercury in Libra. Is it his Mercury? These are my notes. Okay. Mercury. Oh, when is this? Oh, this is a long time ago. Let's go back to now. Okay. So where is Mercury? Mercury. Why do I have Mercury? Does he have a Mercury in Libra? Why do I have Mercury in Libra? Ignore the Libra, but Mercury. Oh, when it was in Libra, because actually this happened last week. Okay, so this happened last week. Mercury moves really fast. Okay, so today's date is the 15th. Oh, Mercury is currently in Libra on the 15th. Okay, anyway, but this happened last week. And when it happened, okay, here we have Mercury and it's squaring his Saturn. Okay, when you have Mercury squaring the Saturn is the planet of the father figure. Whenever I have Saturn, I'm always going like this. This is the father figure going like this in the sign Capricorn, and that's double whammy. First of all, Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, but on top of that, Saturn and Capricorn is father figures, the older mentor. Is squaring what he says. Okay, when there is squaring, there is challenge. People did not like what he said. Okay, they are like, you are trying to be authoritative, you're trying to limit us in how we think and what we say. That wasn't okay. And you're talking about a female. That is what Libra represents. You're talking about a party, you're talking about a partnership of some sort, a relationship of some sort. And we may not have that relationship with you anymore, Obama, just so you know. Now with Obama, this speaking and this engagement that he had, this speech he had, is in the ninth house, and the ninth house does represent cultures, and so it could represent a black culture, right? Pluto is also on top of that Saturn, and Pluto is all about changing and shifting and a transformation, right? It's also dealing with power, so he feels like he has enough power to speak the authority. There's a conjunction here. It's been sitting here for a good minute. His Saturn is retrograding, so the authority is not doing that great, okay? But Mercury is all about speeches, and he's talking about the support because it is in the sign Libra. Libra is about support, and he wants to support his party. He wants to support his team. He wants to support the Democrats. And the Saturn is sitting there saying, okay, you want to support, and I'm going to give you restrictions with the support. Okay. Also, that Pluto energy is obsessed with power. So this obsession with power is causing some limitations, and he thinks he can voice that to the collective or to a group of people or to a certain culture of men. He thinks he can say that to. Also, Venus is in the sign Scorpio, and Venus is all about your support. Okay, where is our Venus? Where is Venus? Venus is here in Virgo in the sign. No, it moves into Sagittarius, but maybe why do I have Scorpio here? Is his Venus in Scorpio? No, why do I have Scorpio in my notes? Venus would support his square in Leo. Mars is in Scorpio. Mars is in Scorpio, and it's not so him being driven to have power and control over something, an obsession over something, and trying to achieve something here, a higher goal to help his public image. That is all squaring all this leadership here, and leadership of presidents. Leo represents leader and all this stuff, and a change and unexpected changes, and talking in leadership and being the leader. All that represents leadership. So even him trying to achieve his goal was no bueno. There was challenges on both ends. So whether you're a Democrat or Republican, it wasn't great for Obama to give the lecture that he's giving. I think I looked at different platforms. I'm talking about CNN. I looked at Fox. All of them were not saying great things about it. And it's because they felt like there was restriction, and also because him trying to achieve something in regards to him being the leader and a boss, that's changing. People are not looking at him as this angel anymore, and there needs to be an awareness to that. But it doesn't matter. This doesn't last long. I'll tell you that right now. This planet, see, even here, Venus, as he's giving a speech currently, it's sitting on top of Pluto. Pluto is about transformation. So the support is changing. There is a transformation with the support and the people backing him. And that means voters anytime you're supporting. But these things change, and he'll be fine. Of course, he's Obama. He will be fine. Okay. But currently right now, that is the feeling, that is the vibe in the sky, just so you know. Okay. One more story that I have here, and let me share it real quick, and then we'll move on to the horoscopes. Okay, so let me see. trying to do it. I'm doing great. This is what I'm telling myself. You're doing great, Danyell. Okay. So we have one more story here. And this is also about politics. And we are talking about Kamala Harris, and she beats Donald Trump in the polls. Okay. This is what's currently being said. And I've looked at all the platforms. I'm talking about the Bloods and the Crips platforms. I'm talking about the Democrats and the Republicans, the Bloods and the Crips. That's what I consider them. I am neither. But I looked at both sides, and they're both saying that she is leading in polls. Hence why Obama was trying to get the men to support Kamala, because they are not leading in the polls, just so you know. Is there a video here? I see that there's sound here. Oh, what is this here? Anyway, I thought that was her getting, okay, let me read it. And it says, can Kamala Harris beat Donald Trump? Latest polls update. Vice President Kamala Harris will go head-to-head with Donald Trump, in just 3 weeks as Americans cast their votes in the presidential race. Several polls over the last week have revealed a shrinking national lead for Harris, meaning that with just a week to go, the race is only getting tighter. Meanwhile, Trump is leading in multiple swing states, but the former president may be losing his grip on older generation voters. It's so interesting how this one is saying this, where I've seen several websites of them saying that Harris is losing in the men's vote, but they're saying that Trump is losing in the older vote, right? The latest average of the national polls correlated, okay, yada, yada, yada. And who's doing these polls? Because I've never answered a poll. Anyway, on average, Harris has been marginally ahead of Trump in national polls for several months. Republicans are now concerned about Senate elections, according to an international polling memo obtained by Politico. Polls confirm that the Democrats lead key Senate races. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, so this one is saying that Trump is not leading and that Harris is leading, but I've seen several say that Harris isn't leading. So let's take it to the charts, shall we? And I am going to pull up. Again, I wish I can share multiple screens. We're going to pull up here and we are going to look at the chart. Let me make the chart bigger. And we're going to look at Kamala, and see how her support is. Okay. And the support, and the support is really on again, Venus. I always look at Venus when we're looking at support. And Venus, is this currently right now? Oh, look. I was looking at the whole different year with Obama. Hold on, let me change. Let me look at Barack. That is a whole different year here, 2024. That's why I had Venus is in a sign Scorpio. So Venus is in sign Scorpio. It is on top of his midheaven. So a lot of support. Venus conjunct. Let me just revert and explain things. Okay. Venus conjunct his MC. This is Barack Obama's MC. Conjunctions are good or bad. Good or bad, good and bad, okay? But what they are really strong, okay? And so in the sign Scorpio, you're dealing with obsession of power. You're also dealing with a transformation too, okay? So the support is changing on his MC, which is his public stage. This is how he comes across to people. That's changing. This still was squaring a few days ago. That's why I was saying a few days ago, because I remember looking at this a few days ago. This was squaring his Saturn. So that is the same. Him speaking and discussing, there was still restrictions here. And this here is squaring this energy of him being a leader, him being president. And this is representing support. This is not just representing the people, but his support. Okay. Yes. So that is what we have for Barack. Now let me change it to Kamala. And what Kamala we have, I'm going to put currently now. And we have with her leading in the polls. Now, the sixth house is where she has her Venus. And the sixth house is all about organization and being very meticulous and being about the details. So the details of the polls and all this stuff, we're going to get that. We're going to get the logistics of everything about her polls and her support of her polls, just so you know. Now, I wanted to say, this is just Now, I'm sure there was confusion here. I wonder if she gave a speech and it was lost in the sauce here with this Venus conjunct this Neptune. But so far, it looks like it's going to be fine. There is, oh, I see here. So these two planets are very positive planets, and they're not seeing eye to eye. So the support here that she's getting in a polls may be looking bad on her. Okay, there could be some unexpected surprises. A lot of social media is what Uranus also represents, and it's not going great with her support. Now, however, I do want you to understand it doesn't matter what we are currently seeing in the polls, because the polls could be very deceptive, because anything dealing with voting is a very Neptune energy and Uranus energy, expected, unexpected, and very illusions and secrets. Okay, when you're dealing with voting, I have done a video on it. I haven't uploaded it, so I will be doing that soon. What we can look at is the support here, and when you talk about the inauguration, we'll go months here. Okay, when you talk about her being inaugurated, the support is sitting on top of her career, her public arena, her public stage, her public image. Major support. There's also major responsibility. There could be some confusion here. However, these two planets sitting on top of this energy in this 10th house gives me the energy, that gives me the vibe that she is going to win. So it doesn't matter what the support looks like as we are voting. I see her winning this inauguration. I'm not saying, I am not a blood or a Crip. I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I'm actually, sorry, not going to vote for Kamala. I'm giving you an astrologer, non-biased opinion of what I see. And I see major support, and I see her winning this race. Okay. And I want you to, we'll compare it to Donald Trump real quick. Okay. When you have Trump and you go to his Venus, okay, what Venus is looking at for him, it's in the 8th house. And that means power. Sure, there could be power, but there's also transformation of power in this house. Okay, and it looks like there's either transformation or there is a death of something. So it could be a death of him running, doesn't have to be a physical death, or it could be a physical death. Okay, there's limitations here. I wouldn't say responsibilities in government. I just don't see it, because she has it here and it's sitting in her career. And her career gets bigger and bigger, as I kept looking up the astrology. Also, you look at this Venus, and there's a fight. There's a tug of war with this Mars retrograding in Cancer. So these two things to me don't look as great as Kamala's. When you have Kamala, and then where's her Venus? Her Venus is sitting here next to releasing something. So the support of releasing something is happening. And this is, I'm not sure what she's releasing. It could be something releasing regarding to work, because you are dealing with Virgo energy, more the homeland. But this is not as bad as it's sitting in that 12th house for Trump, which represents endings and also represents, just endings. On top of that, Mars that's retrograding, complete opposite energy. Also, you have her Jupiter in the 11th house. This is very positive, and it's in her first house. I said 11th house, in her first house, and that first house is representing me. Well, her, okay, representing her, and she has abundance and luck, even though it's retrograding. So it's like, oh, maybe we don't want to give it to you, or here we go again, or there's going to be some stuff that has to be redone. There could be some confusion here. At the same time, it's more positive for Kamala. That's just what I see in the charts. Okay, and if we look at Trump's real quick. If we go back to Trump and we look at where his Jupiter is, just so we can be fair, okay? His Jupiter is sitting on something that is starting to conjunct, even though it's retrograding, so it'll be scooting backwards. But during this inauguration, it's conjunct Uranus, and it's expect the unexpected in a big way, big surprises that's happening, good or bad. I would think that it's not the best, because it's not. And here you have expect the unexpected with his values in his career. Major surprises here. But it's not saying, yay, you're winning. I just wouldn't, that's not what I see at all. Okay. This major stuff here is where all this stuff for Kamala is in her career, and all this stuff for him is in money that he owes, or taxes and lending and death and transformation are things that are taboo. Just not the best to have it. Okay. So yeah. Oh, also, I didn't say about Trump's Let me see if I have it in this notes. I didn't say anything about Trump's Venus. In the last video, I realized that I talked about Kamala's Venus entering the sign Sagittarius. Hold on, let me see if I have it in my notes real quick. If you guys didn't know, I have a Mars in Gemini. I have a Venus in Gemini. Okay. Yeah. So because of those things, just like I said, Elon has, I'm trying to see if I have it here. Yeah, I do. Just like I said, Elon has a Mars in Aquarius. So him pursuing futuristic things. I'm in Gemini. So me talking, this is what I like to do. Also taking a lot of notes. I'm a major note taker, an avid reader. Okay. So, but I want to talk about Venus and entering Sagittarius, because why is this important for presidents running? Because you are talking about support. So for Kamala, I talked about hers yesterday. And wait, let me just see. What did I say Kamala's was? I forgot already. Kamala's Venus is going to enter. Oh, this is wrong, because we need currently. Okay, right now, Kamala's Venus is going to enter the 7th house. So a lot of support for Trump is what I see here, because you're talking about open enemies. I discussed that yesterday. This could also be with her running mate. That could be happening. But this is usually, yeah, a lot of support for Trump is what you see. I still don't see him winning. Sorry. But a lot of support for Trump when Venus enters there. But now if we go to Trump, because that 7th house represents your open enemies, if you didn't know. Now, for Trump, you see that Venus is going to enter in Sagittarius in his 5th house. This is all about his self-expression and creativity. He might be doing more things with famous people and interviews with famous people, or maybe famous people will be endorsing him. Let's see what happens, because the 5th house is all about everyone look at me, I'm on stage. That's a lot of celebrities, a lot of influencers, and I find that Uranus is starting to represent a lot of influencers, because that could represent social media, but children, actors, celebrities, he may be getting more support from them when this Venus enters Sagittarius and it enters that 5th house. Okay. Yeah, but his public image, heightened focus on his self-expression and who he is, and his campaign could be really creative, and a lot of public attention, a lot of charisma, a lot of charm, very likable energy, and there's going to be support there for him. Heightened focus on his image too, and self-promotion, as if he doesn't do that enough. I just want you to know what I'm explaining may sound familiar for him, because he has a lot of Leo placements, Pluto in Leo, Mars in Leo. The 5th house is very similar and is very highly compared to Leo energy. So that is what's going to happen. And now his support goes there. Okay. Now, I want to tell you that when this support system starts to conjunct his south node and oppose his north node, you're talking about he's revisiting some past names here. There's something that's going to be redone, something that he's very comfortable with, but something that he needs to release. Okay, something that's very familiar, something that he's done over and over and over again. However, there needs to be released there. Okay, now when it's conjunct the moon could represent the people. Okay, the moon could represent an insecurity, and the moon could represent his emotions. Okay, also his past. Again, there's something from the past there. So emotional connection, maybe something is done, there is a redoing of something, or maybe connecting to the people's feelings, or public support, or Sagittarius themes is all about freedom. So freedom to the people. And when Venus comes, maybe Venus is going to be like, I feel free. I feel like I have a broadened horizon when I am supporting this candidate. That could be happening. There is national pride, also a lot of independence. Sagittarius represents independence. Yeah, but heightened emotional appeal, and more relatable energy. And he could be honest and direct, or the people who are supporting him may be honest and direct, and they're going to be feeling very in tune with his emotions. Okay. Yeah, so that is what we have for Trump. I just want you to know that is what we have for the current news. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want anything else dealing with politics or news or current events you want me to cover, yeah, hit me up and I'll answer the questions. But that is all we have for our current events and our politics.